Alright, so after a little bit of walking, I managed to make it down into the village of Sparot. Had a lovely chat with a lovely lady, I think called Jen, on the way, with a couple of dogs. If she finds me on YouTube, sorry if I've got your name wrong, I'm terrible with names. But yeah, if you find me, lovely to have a chat with you. Thank you for the recommendation of the Carthrough walk. Yeah, I'm just gonna chill out and refill on the water quickly because I haven't drank very much since yesterday. But look how lovely this place is. What a lovely, like, quiet, picturesque little village with a tiny little village shop just over there. It's fantastic. But yeah, I'm just gonna chill out here. Bought myself a pack of wine gums as a little bit of a sugary treat. But yeah, I might go check out that church just over there in a minute. Oh, there goes the finger. I might go check out that church over there in a second and just have a little walk around. It looks kind of interesting. I think the one thing I love about the countryside as opposed to the city is that most people are willing to stop and have a chat. For those of you that know me, I'm quite I'd say I'm like this weird little mix of introvert, extrovert. Sort of I'll have my quiet times, but also it's nice to stop and have a chat with people every now and again. But yeah, it's just in the city you never end up stopping and chatting with everyone. Everyone's just like tunnel vision straight on where they're going, what they're doing, and I think it's a bit weird. You sort of just end up distancing yourselves from other people. I don't know if that's like because of COVID and all that sort of stuff and social distancing, and people are still in that like weird mind frame of, oh, I don't know, this person seems a little bit shady or whatever. But in the country, people just don't seem to care. They'll stop and have a chat. They'll, give you directions somewhere. Generally, it seems to me like more nicer and sort of sociable people as opposed to being in the city. It's quite refreshing, honestly. What a lovely little church. See if we can go and have a little look-see inside. I don't want to interrupt anything, but I'll have a gander at these stained glass windows. They look phenomenal. There's something about quiet little like churches in the villages. They're always quite funky. What a lovely little church. Actually beautiful. This is so cool. The high ceilings. Dude, the architecture is insane in here. Look how high the ceiling is. Amazing. What a lovely little church. What a lovely little church. I'm not a religious person by any means, but there's something about coming into these places that's just serene, tranquil. Think about how much history is here, how many people have been through this place. Amazing. well, St Stephen's of Sparot. Thank you for having me. I ended up spending about an hour inside that church, to be honest. I sat there and had a little look around, enjoyed all of the stained glass windows and stuff. I probably put some footage up and just yeah, sat in there and just chilled. Very, very peaceful, very tranquil. It's when you're in a space like that where it's just so calm that you really do just get the time to, you know, sit and think and just wonder about all the random things that have happened in there. Again, like I said before, all about all the history. That place is like super old. There was like names in there that they didn't even have surnames, they were that old. Actually crazy. Yeah, so I've just I was checking the maps whilst I was in there as well, and there is a little top, just the way I've came actually. It's got a little cool little wooden thing on there, so I'm just gonna start heading off in that direction and try and see if I can get to that tonight. Well, not tonight, but within the next couple of hours, and I'll hopefully be able to share that cool thing with you. It looks really cool on the map, so yeah. Alright, in a bit guys. Alright, so I re-had a look on the maps at the place it is that I want to go to, and it's called Farley Mount. It's a couple of miles from where I was in Sparot. I'm already a little bit of the way through it. Yeah, I'm ashamed of myself. I broke my almost golden rule of I'm not going to drink any energy drinks, but this morning when I woke up, I definitely felt like I needed a rocket shot on my rear end in order to get moving and get progressing. So yeah, I bought myself a can of 50p paint stripper energy drink and a little pack of biscuits as well, just to give me this almost sugar rush to get to where I want to go before my legs go, oh dear, we're aching and hurting. But honestly, yeah, they're aching and hurting, and I can, you know, feel a certain way about it, but it's not going to kill me. I chose to do this, and if anything, I know that I'm hurting and I'm aching because I've actually got around to doing something I said I was going to do. And then with time, I'll build up the strength in these legs, and I'll be able to, you know, jump over fences and all that sort of stuff with my bag on. Yeah, okay, that's probably a bit of an overstatement, but you know, one of them. But it's going to be something that will come with time. So yeah, I'll bring you guys back once I've eventually got to Farley Mount. It shouldn't take me too long, maybe I don't know, an hour or something. And I know that sounds like a long time for a couple of miles, but you also have to bear in mind I'm carrying 20 to 25 kilos worth of kit on my back, plus, you know, 3 litres of water and all of the general stuff to keep me alive and well. So yeah, I'll catch up with you guys in a little bit once I get there. Bosh! Alright, so I'm about halfway there. I just thought I'd record this little clip just because as I was walking, I've sort of had this almost epiphany of sorts. Like I say, this whole YouTube channel and documenting this sort of stuff, as well as it's you know, to see all of the beautiful places in England and to share that with the world. It's also a place for me and a journey for me to discover more about myself. So I was just thinking as I was walking down last night, I didn't record very much, and it's because I was in a little bit of a downer. I only had 500 mils of water, and at that point I was like, oh, this is absolutely crap, I don't like this, and I was complaining and effing and blinding and all that sort of stuff. Internally, of course, I wasn't just screaming like a weirdo. But yeah, I realised yesterday that I had my first, you know, encounter with my ego mind as such. At least on this journey, the first encounter with my ego mind. Up until that point, it's sort of been smooth sailing. Like, yes, the walking was, you know, it's taxing. It's physically taxing. But, you know, once you get to a point of, oh, this aches, it's not going to ache anymore. It just aches. But as I was, you know, sitting there yesterday, just with enough time to actually have my mind, you know, pipe up and start giving me some jip and saying, like, this is stupid, man, you've got no water, and then you get these thoughts of, oh, I'm going to dehydrate and all that sort of stuff, which is just absolutely crazy. Like, I'm not in the space of one day going to dehydrate and, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, pass away. I'm just the best word. I'm not gonna come to my demise over you know, one night of not being able to drink some water. So yeah, I realised this as I was walking along today. Like yesterday, it felt like such a draining day because there was no water. I couldn't cook too much. I just had to wait for my evening meal in order to actually have something to eat, which I then ended up spilling some of on the floor, and I was even more annoyed and even more in a mood. But yeah, I got some sleep. I woke up this morning. I've trekked down to the village, went inside the shop, grabbed a couple of bottles of water, grabbed a couple of ready-to-eat things so I can quickly just smash down and, you know, get some calories for the rest of the day ahead. And as I was walking down the path towards my break point now where I'm at, I sort of had this realisation that even though my bag's heavier, I've got an extra 4 kilos worth of weight on me, it didn't feel as heavy as it did yesterday. And I think that's because I know I'm sorted. I know I've got water. The anxieties have calmed down. I've got everything that I need for the next few days in order to be able to, you know, continue. And yeah, I just thought I'd share that. Like, it was such a strange thing. I'm not normally one to get madly bogged down by stuff like that, or, you know, have all this inner talk coming up. But yeah, I thought I'd share that. It was a really interesting experience. And I also think, again, carrying on from that last clip, I've just had this pop into my mind now, and I'm sort of just, you know, trying to flow it off the tongue sort of thing. And yeah, I had this negative thoughts and all that sort of stuff arising, and I think for anyone who's having those sorts of those thoughts and feelings and all that sort of stuff, if what worked for me last night was just be like, okay, tomorrow we can sort it out. There's nothing to worry about. I've said to my mind, chill out. We're not going to die. Nothing bad's going to happen. I'm just going to get some shut eye. I'm going to wake up in the morning, crack on, and go and do whatever we've got to do. And I think for people that are in their day-to-day lives that are, you know, struggling with negative thoughts and all that sort of stuff, that breaking it down for yourself and saying, okay, well, small step tomorrow is to go and get this sorted, and then we move on from there. Having that small, short, like, term goal helps to appease your mind. Your mind knows that there's some sort of structure or, you know, quick fix that's being put in place, and then it sort of quietens down a little bit so you can just crack on and do what you've got to do. This is probably the most talky that I've been. I really don't want to, you know, sit and waffle or whatever, but yeah, just I feel like I had to share that. That was proper cool experience. Alright, so I've reached my next little break point before making it to Farley Mount. This place is called Pit Down. It's quite a hefty hill to get up, to be honest, but it's absolutely amazing. Look at it. Beautiful little hilltop. I had to put my jacket on because it's a little bit windy up here, but other than that, and a little bit of ache in the quads, is actually quite a pleasant walk, to be honest. Yet another group of animals that's probably wondering what the heck this weird fella with a backpack is doing walking through their home. But look at those guys, they're lovely. I think that most of them are dude horses. Yep, I think they are, but yeah, lovely. What a nice thing to encounter on the path. And off we continue. And here we are, final rest stop before we get to our spot of choice. I've been saying it wrong this whole time. It's not Farley Mount. It's actually Farley Mount. So yeah, my bad. Sorry about me. But yeah, I've just stopped in this this field just at the start of the footpath. You see that little green bit up there? That's where I've got to get to. But look at that. Mental, absolutely mental. Alright, for those of you that are wondering, I'm not asthmatic, I just have an extremely heavy bag. But we have reached our destination. The weird little wizard's hut thing on top of the hill. Sorry if it's windy, I'm probably going to just shout a little bit to try and make sure that you can hear what I'm saying. But I'm walking up, and there's the OS trail marker. I don't think it's that big, like that high in meters, but you know, carrying a quarter or a third of my body weight is yeah, pretty sweet and pretty grueling. Let me flip you around. Yeah, here's the OS trail marker, and that hidden behind the trees is the little wizard's house. All right, I'm gonna take my bag off. We'll go have a little look at it and see what it was all about. Oh, that is probably one of the best things in the world to take off your back. All right, let's have a little walk up this hill. Like I say, apologies for the wind noise. It's you know, a little bit high up, at least compared to the rest of the area. I'm not going to read that out because you know, you can read it on the screen, but if you want to have a look at what it's all about, then you can pause it and take it in, you know. But yeah, what a cool little place. And then just look at the view. Look at the view out across those ginormous yellow fields. Cool. I can feel that wind. Yeah, sorry about it. What a spot! What a spot! Alright, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to rest up a little bit, and I made the promise to myself once I get up here I'll allow myself a drink, and I'll make some ham tortillas that I grabbed from the local shop this morning just before I left, with the energy drink and all that. So I'm going to have that little snack, refuel the body and hydrate again, and then work out where to go from here. So I think I've followed the Clarendon Way Trail, I think, something like that. So I'm going to check the maps and see where that sort of goes to. I think it goes towards King Sunborn, maybe. But yeah, I'll work that out in a bit. But what a cool little spot. Let me just have a look. Damn. Oh wow, okay, I'll give you the summary. I've just read it quickly. Basically, a horse in 1733 leapt into a chalk pit with a dude on the back of it chasing after some foxes. And yeah, he was a horse called Beware Chalk Pit. What an interesting name. Yeah, 1734. Actually, sorry, 1733. Pretty crazy. I suppose that explains why the whole thing is sort of a chalky style mausoleum or whatever it is. But yeah, I'm gonna crack on with my lunch and stuff, and then cool, go back in there. Once I decide where to go, I'll let you guys know. So this is one of the small things that bothers me in the world. Obviously there's much larger problems than this, starvation and all that sort of stuff, but I feel the UK gets like the worst rap when it comes down to, you know, how ugly of a place it is, yada yada, and it's just not. All right, look at all of this. That is banging. It's not the mountains or anything. It's not in the middle of Wales or the Scottish Highlands, but it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Let me give you a better view. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Oh, what a lovely little random encounter that was. Just met a couple of guys walking along. There's a lady called Marcella and her friend with a couple of dogs just out on a nice little walk. Hello Marcella, if you end up following along for the journey. That was a lovely chat about foraging, and yeah, like I say, it's going to be an interesting one. But yeah, so I'm just carrying on through these woods now, and I've spotted on the map that there is a pretty nice place called Luke's Copse. It's got a little pond, or I think it's, I'm going to say a pond or a lake or something like that. I saw water on the map, I'm heading that way. But yeah, through this forest is banging to kipping. There's just so many trees, it's just dead quiet. Absolutely untouched pine woodland, I think. I think it's another one of those plantations. So yeah, just going to carry along on this trail, and I don't know what time it is now. I think it's coming up towards 6 p.m, so I'm going to hopefully get there within the sort of 7 o'clock mark, and look to set up camp for the night. Get some food down me, chill out, possibly listen to a little bit more of Goggins' audiobook. Goggins' audiobook is carrying me through this. But yeah, I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. Alrighty, I've arrived. Unfortunately, lesson number 2 has been hard learnt. Don't trust maps for water sources. That's all I'm going to say, because I've just arrived at where there was a nicely marked water source, and that's the water source. Very much not wet. Maybe it's a seasonal one. Yeah, it doesn't really throw me off. To be fair, I can get by with the water I've got. Luckily, I was, you know, prepared, and managed to grab a few bottles of water, or 2 bottles of water, before I left Sparot this morning. So to be honest, I'm not absolutely devastated, but you know, there's another me in an alternate universe that didn't get the water bottles, and I'm sorry for you, Nath. I'm sorry for you. But yeah, so I think the plan is now just to probably wander into those woods, like over in that direction somewhere, and yeah, try and find a spot to pitch for the night. I mean, it's a little bit early. I see a hunting stand over there, so you know, I'm probably gonna have to be a little bit wary about where I put my stuff, but as long as I'm, you know, off the beaten track enough and relatively well hidden, I think I'll be fine just for the night. But yeah, that is the crack. When I go to set up my tarp or whatever, if it's still of a reasonable lighting, should be. It's quite good now. I've got, yeah, about an hour and a half until complete sundown, so more than enough time, more than enough light. I just need to wander around and find a spot. But when I do that, I'll And obviously, when I've decided what type of setup I'm going for, I'll then bring you guys back and sort of give you a little run through of what I'm doing. All right, take it easy. After trekking round, I think I've found my spot that I'm going to set up for the night. I found a nice, lovely little spot in the middle of the pine woods. Lots of moss underfoot as well, so that will help and act as a nice little insulator for the night. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and attempt to set myself up an Adirondack, and then I'm going to go on the hunt for a loose tree stump so that I can have a fire. If not, there is one that's just over there somewhere. I don't know why I turned the camera around, and that was really stupid. But yeah, so I'm going to crack on and set up this shelter, and then I'll show you guys once it's sorted. Voila, one Adirondack. Right, so what I've done is I've got a ridgeline going between this tree and this tree. Got two prusik knots, a guy line going out to the front to a tent peg for my my front porch, and then I've pegged out this corner, pegged out the corner opposite the ridge line, guy line going from the middle to the tree here, pegged out this corner opposite the other ridge line, and then pegged out the last corner here, and the remainder little triangle underneath there is going to act as a partial ground sheet, and then I'll just put my my other one down in there. But yeah, that's the shelter sorted. As you can see from inside, it is like super spacious. I've got my bag there, I'm laying down fully, got my little roof. I've still got loads of headroom. This is just it's a quality little shelter. Good thing about the Adirondacks is that they are super good in wind, and it's a little bit windy up the top of here. They're also extremely good in the rain. And what I can do, if I wanted to, is I can put my little front porch that's on a guy line. I can actually peg that into the ground to give myself more of an enclosed, sheltered feel, which I probably might do towards the end of the night. I'm not sure yet. I'll see how it goes. But yeah, I think the plan now is probably to try and run around, have a look and see if I can find a loose stump somewhere so I can put my stick stove out, and then look at getting someone on for dinner.